Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to our morning note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Welcome aboard. We do this every morning at 9 a.m. during market days. Just a heads up, quick reminder: no markets next Friday. We'll be closed for July 4th weekend, and make sure to like and subscribe to our videos. We really do appreciate the feedback. I know you guys really did enjoy the live trading session. We are waiting to get to 4,000 subscribers. We are now at 3,491. So share our videos, share our channel so we can get to 4,000 and we could do another live session together. Excuse me while I drink a sip of my water. So good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a look at futures this morning. And then we'll go take a look at the headlines. Dow futures, again, that pretty much chop. We had that yesterday. 190 points to the downside in the futures from Dow. NASDAQ above, futures above 10,000 still, down about 22 points, nothing wild. S&P futures 3059, pretty much chop here, down about 11. And Russell 2000 futures down about 11 points. VIX is down about 3.66%. Crude oil is down about 1%. Bitcoin futures down about 0.75% at 92.70. Gold futures flat 1769 as it continues to grind higher. Silver futures are up as well, slightly green, above 18. Bond prices are up as yields go down slightly. And dollar yen for my Forex people, 107.04, down 14 pips now. And the dollar index is slightly green. And gasoline futures up about 0.64% to $1.19 on the futures. So let's go ahead and talk about yesterday. As you can see here on E-mini futures, I'll go ahead and expand this if you can't see. You can see we had a huge buy right at the end of the day, right around 3:30 or 3:30 ramp. Pretty much just choppy all day yesterday on Thursday, all day on Wednesday. Tuesday was your big drop. Wednesday and Thursday, all chop. So basically, if you have calls or puts for a certain amount of time, you pretty much got chopped up here. Yesterday, we had a big buying program come in, or just algos, if you want to call it that, on the S&P. And we're at 30.83 currently on the S&P. Futures are down at 30.61. So we'll get fair value at the open. But looking at this here currently, we're really not getting much direction. Again, I've been saying it before on E-mini futures. We do need to get to certain levels in order to get some direction. So it's a pretty difficult one here unless you're really a scalper and you really have to be careful. So 30.53 on E-mini futures is your 50-day moving average. We're slightly above that. And ever since that pop yesterday, we've been kind of hovering around about 10 points away from there. 30.82 is your 100-day moving average. If you break that, that'd be a really good sign for a continuation to 3,100. 30.93 is your 200-day moving average. So keep in mind if you are a bull or you're going long in stocks. Keep in mind also, historically speaking, the week before July 4th weekend, it tends to be bullish. So just understand that. Again, it just happens that way. It doesn't happen every single year, but historically speaking, tends to be bullish. So let's go ahead and take a look at some headlines too. And I'll take a look at some pre-market movers. And we'll go ahead and talk about what's going on. So I'll go ahead and go with pre-market movers first. Pre-market movers, Gap is up with a deal with Kanye West Yeezy brand, up about 16%. Very solid there. If you have not tried on the Yeezy sneakers for Adidas, I highly recommend them. They're actually my favorite pair of sneakers. They are great. Looking at here, American Airlines up about 1%. Gap up big. About 16%. Wells Fargo and the banks are down due to the bank stress test and what the Fed said. I'll go ahead and give you the details on that. Bank of America, Wells Fargo is down. Apple's down slightly. Delta Airlines, Carnival, the Leisures are up slightly as well. Boeing is down another 1% as they were downgraded. Nike missed expectations and revenues, down about 3.5%. I have a price target on Nike to get back in to right around $90 a share. We'll go ahead and buy at that level. Facebook down about 1%, and MGM Casino down about 1%. That's where we are currently. So let's go ahead and talk about the headlines here. Got some personal income headlines down about 4.2%. Estimate was down 6%. Nice beat there. Personal spending up about 8.2% versus 9.2% expected. Just got another headline here. American Airlines says to stop capping seating capacity on planes beginning July 1. So now they won't stop capacity. That's a really good sign for airlines. So take a look at American Airlines. VaxSmart COVID vaccine selected for the U.S. government's Operation Warp Speed, VXRT. Also, Tesla Q2 deliveries estimated at 80,900, says RBC Capital. Total is higher than the prior 72,800 forecast, though the anticipated declines of 5% from last year and 28% from last quarter on Model S and X would mark the lowest volume of deliveries since 2014 quarter 3. Amazon was also price upgraded by Robinson SunTrust to 3,400 from 2,700. We say we've been bullish on Amazon. I mean, not a difficult one to say. And I got one more here for an upgrade. I did see it. I'll go ahead and bring it up here. Thought I did have it here. I'll go and check our Twitter page. Here it is, if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Evercore raises Qualcomm 90 to 110. Amazon also agrees to buy self-driving startup Zoox for over $1 billion. And Space announces Spaceship 2 completes second flight from Spaceport America. They were up 6% pre-market. And Nike's price target was raised from 104 to 118. So there is your headlines. All right, let me go and move this over so you don't have to worry about this. And with regards to the bank headlines, so Federal Reserve bank stress test passed. The only one that was having issues was Wells Fargo due to their high dividend yield. I think their dividend's right around 7%. So the Fed said that may not be sustainable. Citi, JPM, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, all fine in regards to the stress test. What they did say was that Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley was the best, according to an analyst that from a bank, I forget which one, that they were the best positioned ones out of all the banks, which is Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Now, keep in mind, for the quarter 3, banks, financial institutions, the big banks, cannot do share buybacks and dividend increases. So that does hurt the cash injection to shareholders for the banks. I only own one bank, which is JP Morgan. I don't plan on actually selling any. I bought one lotto trade on Citi, the 53 calls. I'm in them. They were up after hours, which is actually pretty strange. It's down about 30 cents. Again, it was a very cheap lotto, about $130. It wasn't even a signal or anything. Again, it was just something that I wanted to play for the stress test, see if they beat it. They did beat it, but that headline from the Fed kind of hurt that. So again, it was a quick lotto. If it's an L, I'll take it. It's a small little risk there. So now we can answer some questions. Hello, good morning. Dylan says, VicTech says, Dylan, what do you think about TVIX? TVIX is basically a ETF for the VIX. So again, it really just depends on you. It's TVIX, are you talking about the short-term 2 times VIX? So again, if you're bearish in the market, you're buying TVIX. Again, I'm not a big fan of leverage funds. The only one I did like was TQQQ. I owned it and I sold it. But if you just want to buy TVIX, I'm okay with that if you're bearish in the market. The Gap deal doesn't even include the shoe line. That's true. It just includes hoodies and shirts, but you know, Gap needed that shot in the arm. So that's a pretty good thing for them. And the Yeezy brand is a global brand and everyone does love it. Do you think stress test results are bad? No, the stress test results were not bad. The only bad news was the Fed saying that, hey, no share buybacks for your institutions and no dividends, no dividend increases. But the banks were not going to give any dividends for Q3 anyways. So again, if you're looking for a place to buy some banks for the long term, this may be the time to do it. The only ones I recommend, JPM, Goldman Sachs, and Citi. I just added Citi to the board. I'm going to go ahead and buy some Citi. Not today, but I'll be looking to see if I can get some in. What software this is? Retired Knicks fan. This is Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade. Are you selling Citi Lotto at the open? No, I'm going to see the price action. Again, if I lose it, I lose it, but I want to go ahead and see the price action at the open. It's at 52.40. Let's see what happens. For all we know, it could bounce and get to 54 for all I know. So I'm only 60 cents away from the money. The close was at 52.68. SPR, Rolls-Royce. When it comes to luxury brand and luxury cars, or just in general, the only car I want to go ahead and own company is Tesla. Amazon breakout price. I mean, I think Amazon's already at the breakout level. So if you haven't got in, you should just get in already. Thoughts on NIO? NIO is another company that's electric car company. I've owned it before and I've sold it before. I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather just go own Tesla. Thoughts on SQ and Spot? SQ Spot for long-term entry level. Let's take a look at Square. I think Square at around 102, which would be right at the 100, wouldn't be a bad idea. But again, if you really like the name and you don't care about a $3 difference, you can get in today. And Spotify is a very nice stock. I don't own any, but it's looking very good here. So again, if you're looking to invest, don't worry about your target price. Just go ahead and split it up and buy it in sections. So let's say if you want to buy $500 worth, as an example of a stock, you could break it up into 100 per week, 100 per day, so you can average a good price. That's probably your best bet. Do you think they will extend the 600 employment to prop market? I think it would be like $1,200. So for another stimulus is coming, guys. That's going to happen. It may not be passed yet, but they'll work on it. Will it help the market? As long as it helps people to spend and keeps people away from the stores and keep people social distancing, I think the government will do it. And will it prop the market? The Fed is going to prop the market, not stimulus checks. Are you long S&P till when you think? I think we're going to hit all-time highs this year, 32, 35. That's my opinion on that one. Long-term view on Square, I don't own it, but I do like it long-term. Square, PayPal, those are great names. Again, all tech companies and all commerce companies, so I would stick with them. Any calls you're looking at today? Oh man, the only thing I would really look at today, maybe for next week, is maybe Microsoft. That's pretty much the only one. I think that 200 level has been flirting. I wouldn't mind getting into for next week. The only thing is that we have a 4-day period next week because of July 4th. But I'm really looking at Microsoft for next week, which I would buy for next week. Would you hold calls over the weekend? Depends on what you're holding, Paul. Really depends. Rolls-Royce also produce aircraft motors and nuclear power plants. Yeah, I understand that. So for that, you could buy, a Boeing, for example. But again, Rolls-Royce does make the engines. You can also get into General Electric. I haven't researched Rolls-Royce myself, so that's something that I don't have to take a look at. Oh, INO, not NIO. Got you. INO. Okay, I guess I read that wrong. INO is Invodium Pharmaceuticals. I have not done my research on INO, but to me, it's kind of like one of those mRNA and Gilead. If you're looking to invest in a pharmaceutical company, I just buy the IBB, which is the biotech ETF, and I get all of them in one shot in the basket. That's the one I'm invested in. Not only the cars, yeah, of course. What will be a good entry for UNH? UNH, I would say the good entry level. Shoot, right here is not bad either, but 290 seems to be a good level for me. Good price for JPM. JPM, I have an alert below 92, or actually below 90. I wrote that down. Yeah, 9206, sorry. 9206, I have my alert. Once that breaks, I'm going to buy some more. So 9206, I'm going to go and place that alert for JPM and add more shares on it. Are we done with the recession? No, the recession is still on, technically. Well, the recession, because we just had a declining GDP. So yeah, recession is technically still on. Facebook and QQQ. Are you looking at Facebook QQQ for next week? QQQ, we had calls and we got out yesterday before the bell with that pump. So Facebook is pretty much dead with that fall. Pretty ugly. We've only lost 2 trades, but they were ugly ones. It was Facebook and Roku. Roku, oh man, the bane of my existence. I think that's going to be on the banned list now with Netflix. Good entry for Tesla. Okay, that's a good one. I wrote it down for Tesla. My level to look at. I bought another couple of. I bought another share at 931. I would say 931 seems to be a good level too. If you can get it at 900, that'd be great. But maybe 950 should be pretty good for you. Have you bought any? Probably 950. AMD has been just chopped, guys. AMD hasn't done anything, and that's just pretty much annoying. So AMD, you need to break 52.46 before we can have a conversation. So it really hasn't done much. That's where I'm at on AMD. And I'm a shareholder, and it just hasn't done anything. Twilio. Okay, real quick. Paul says, thoughts on Trump wanting the Supreme Court to invalidate Obamacare. They've been trying to do this already, and the Supreme Court shut it down, so I really wouldn't worry about it. Twilio calls. Let's see, Twilio. Twilio looking pretty solid. Let's see if we can get that break above 219.64 so you can go ahead and buy some calls on it. If you can recapture that high, then you can start taking a look around that level for next week. Bye-bye China companies, right? Long-term entry on Blackstone. All right, let's take a look at that. Blackstone is BX. Blackstone, I have not done my research on them, so I can just go by technicals here. I would say your best bet, if you want to buy low, let's go ahead and bring up the daily. You really want to go ahead and really get a good entry price on a daily. You could probably go to around 52.69 on the 100-day and play that bounce there. So that wouldn't actually be a bad call. Anything above 60.23 would probably be the next breakout level to get to 64. What level of Microsoft calls for next week? if we get into Microsoft, which we're not there yet. Let me see, Microsoft. Microsoft, watching it here. Microsoft, I want to see a break of 201.48, and then I would play the 205s for next week to see if we can recapture that 203.95 level. Again, keep it pretty tight for the strike because of next week's short week. Thoughts on BA? I own BA. Again, it's a very headline sensitive stock, and 160.27, I would actually go ahead and reload. So that's where I'm at on Boeing. So again, I like when the market goes down a little bit because that gives me an opportunity to buy small shares. So that's where I'm at anyways. Do you think we won't go lower than 2,800 in the S&P anytime soon? I would say the level that you have to look at an S&P that I'm pretty sure will not fall below is right around 2,600. 2,800 could be tested. That's not a problem. 2,600, I think, is your bare bottom case, like worst case scenario. So that's where we are on that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. I will catch you guys Monday for the morning note at 9 a.m. Make sure to like and subscribe our videos. We really do appreciate it. As always, have a great weekend. Have a blessed Friday. And happy trading, guys. We'll catch you guys Monday morning, 9 a.m.